Hi, everybody. This is Arnie Fertig, Job Hunter Coach, and I am delighted that I have with me Nan Desai, who's a current client. Nan and I have been working together for several months, and she's going to share with you her story, and we're going to talk a little bit about our experience together. Nan works in financials. She's a major leader in pharma and just landed a major job. I'll leave it to her to discuss how much in terms of the details she wants to share. But Nan, great to have you with us, and thank you so much for agreeing to share your experience with
it's absolutely my pleasure.
So why don't we start out? Tell me if you can what your current role is, what the nature of the job is that you just accepted last night, and how you got from here to there.
Sure, thank you. So I just accepted a senior director of R&D finance for a very large pharmaceutical company, well known in the industry, and I will be leading a very significant budget and a large staff. We're talking about billions of dollars and a staff of almost 50 plus people. So this is quite the largest P&L that I will have managed in my career. I have had P&L similar in size, maybe a little bit, more in terms of, half the size, which are still significant, but this is by far the largest. And this is certainly the largest staff that I will be managing in my career. I'm very excited about this opportunity. I feel endorsed, through all the years of developing myself to get to this point with Arnie's guidance, as well as other, development projects I've taken on that have helped me get to this point. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
Great. So how did we get together? How many months ago was it? And as I recall, you were referred to me by another client, right?
Correct. That is correct. So serendipitously, I was speaking to your former client, who is my good friend, Daman. And I had been helping her, with her job search from last year. And I had confided in her that I wasn't, fully satisfied in my current role, and that I certainly wanted to, initiate a job search. But I really wanted to find a way to stand out above everyone else, because it was that type of job market where there's a lot of talent in the marketplace, and how could I differentiate myself? And she actually mentioned that she had just finished an engagement with you, Arnie, and that it was the most satisfying experience that she had had. And I certainly should, reach out to you. So I did. And I'm glad that I did, because it's been well worth all of our conversations and coaching. It really has paid off in my job search. So we've been working together since mid-October. And even though now I've landed my job and you've got me through that process, I'm hoping that we continue to work together as part of my transition.
That's wonderful. Well, I am certainly looking forward to continuing to work with you. Tell our viewers a little bit about what the process was and what was the program like for you.
Sure. So, Arnie is very organized. He has a very clear curriculum that he follows. It starts off with, focusing on rewriting your resume and really focusing on the achievement. So he's got an excellent format that he, requires you to fill out. It does require some time and thoughtfulness in populating that. But if you spend the right amount of time doing that, the quality of your end product is going to be that much richer. And I think that, the fact that it took almost like a week to prepare that document allowed for a great new resume format and great new content. So that's, step one. Step two is the brand positioning statement, which is your self-brand positioning. And, how can you summarize your skills and what is cool about you, what differentiates you from the rest of the pack in a very succinct way. And Arnie did a great job of walking through and pulling out the true nuggets of information, the true, insights about what makes you tick and what makes you succeed, and summarizing that and putting that together into the brand positioning statement. Third step was redoing your LinkedIn page. So how do you leverage the achievements that are now being highlighted in your new resume format and leveraging the brand positioning statement to create a real standout LinkedIn page? That was also a really excellent step in the process. And other parts of our engagement required interviewing skills, how to be succinct, how to anticipate what the interviewer is going to be asking, what is it that they're trying to get at? How do you prepare yourself to answer those questions capably? So, it was, that was, for me, the areas that really stood out that had the most impact on my preparation for my interviews.
Mm-hmm. Great. So tell me, how many companies did you wind up talking with?
Yeah, there was a heavy emphasis on networking. I think many of the networking coaching that you gave was extremely useful, especially around, going in and practicing that brand positioning statement to sell yourself, to make that introduction, to be able to be, to be useful to that other person and to engage in a lengthy dialogue that was meaningful. For me, that was the most effective. I did not go through any recruiters for my roles that I applied to. I had two great leads as I was going through this process over the last 3-4 months. And I, deployed all of Arnie's strategies, during that process, from networking to the interview process, et cetera. I think that those were very effective strategies for me, and it really gets you out of your comfort zone, but the more you practice them, the easier it becomes. I remember driving to and from work, as you suggested, practicing my brand positioning statement for like a whole week, which was actually, I'm glad that you forced me to do that, because it really stuck, and I was able to deliver it very effortlessly.
Great. Tell me about the interview experience when you finally got in. You're accepting a major role with a Fortune, I think I can say Fortune 100 company, and
yes,
higher level even than that. What was it like, and how many stages of the interviews were there, and what was our communication back and forth? Where we didn't limit ourselves just to our weekly calls, did we? We talked a lot.
Yes, we certainly had more frequent communications as things were progressing. So, oddly enough, all of my interviews for this job were over the phone, which makes it that much more challenging to execute. But I have to say that to be able to close the deal over the phone using Arnie's, techniques was amazing. I was not expecting to have the impact that I had over the phone, where they can't see your body language, they can't see your face. Everything is through your voice and how you deliver it. And hopefully there's sincerity and empathy there. But all of those techniques were essential. I always remember hearing in back noise, keep it short, keep it concise, and be strategic. Start with the so what, pause, ask for, can I tell you more? How would you like to operate? And to also end your interviews with that key question, those couple key questions about how do I succeed here? Answering that question so that you are able to glean more information from the other side about what it takes to be successful in this role.
So in effect, what you did by implementing these strategies that we talked about is you turned these interview situations, which were really high-powered conversations with key leaders in a major corporation, from a grilling into a real conversation among peers.
Yes, exactly.
And you really talked about how is it that you would work together? How is it that you're going to achieve success? What are you going to do to transform a team where you're leading 50 people? That's a significant job.
Correct.
As you say, billions of dollars at stake. And so to do that just over the phone without even going in to see them is a remarkable accomplishment, that you were able to build that kind of trust in you with them so that they said to you, come on board, right?
Yes. And, in a company of this stature, there are many viable internal candidates. So, I remember you saying, how can you turn them, from choosing the internal candidate to how can you turn them around to really seriously consider you as the external candidate? And, and the strategies that we deploy to ensure that I deliver, your techniques on selling myself and being very strategic with my answers, I think hopefully seal the deal.
Well, the strategies are one thing and how they're executed is another. And I have to say, you are a marvelous client. And
Thank you.
Just a joy to work with you. Every single phone call that we've had, every single Zoom interface that we've had, even the text messages. You shoot me a text message at 10 o'clock at night sometimes and saying, well, what about this? And what about that? and for me, it was a joy to get back to you promptly and to be there and to be supportive of you throughout this process and to see the kind of success that you're getting. I'm just so thrilled for you, and really looking forward to continuing our relationship onward. Now, tell me, a lot of people wonder, well, how do I negotiate the best possible salary? How do I get, I a lot to people about the job search trifecta, right? And that's working for a company where you have, a real identity with the company, where you really click with the company and what they do. On the one hand, where you've got a meaningful job, that you're challenged at your highest level to contribute value, but you're enjoying doing it. It's an appropriate challenge for you and your background, and you're getting a top compensation offer.
Correct.
So how did you go in and do this? How did you, let me ask you this. How hard was it for you to negotiate the salary at the end of the game?
Actually, it wasn't that challenging. So first, let me take a step back. I think the most important thing that you recommended is stay calm and cool in this process. Don't act as if you're desperate. Just state the facts. And in that facts, don't disclose too much. I think that was the most important advice is don't give them a number. Let them come to you, with the best offer possible and inquire, how do they come about with that number? And then that would be the start of how you negotiate. Now, fortunately for me, when I had the discussion about the compensation, when we got to the offer part, offer stage, I laid it out very simply. I just said my compensation is made up of these three components, and I gave them the facts without giving them any numbers. They had a few additional questions about the timing of the payouts, and the bonus and the LTI that I had. And they asked me to send them that information, which I was gladly able to do. At that point, I still haven't not mentioned anything about my salary. They have not, and they've probably figured that since I wasn't willing to disclose it, they weren't going to push on it. Mm-hmm. So based on what I shared with them and the additional documents that I sent over, I think they had a very clear picture of what it would take to keep me whole. And that's what they came back. I had very little to negotiate after that because they were very generous with their offer. And I couldn't, there was nothing that I really needed to ask for more.
Yeah. So without getting into numbers, we can say that you got a significant sign-on bonus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We can say that you've got a significant salary. Mm-hmm. And the overall offer that you received is structured so that even though you're giving up certain things by leaving your current company at this time, you're being made whole by your new company. You're not really giving anything up financially.
That is correct.
And in fact, your overall compensation is going to take a nice bump upward. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. What more can you want?
That is, outside of having a great company to work for and great people to work with, I think it is a hopefully a perfect situation.
Wonderful. Well, Nan, I want to just thank you for taking this time to be with me today and to share your experience with others and be an inspiration for others. And you're a shining star. And I can't wait to see what you do next. And
thank you.
Wait to see, the kind of success and the impact that you're going to make on your new company and the people that you're going to bring up with you in your wake, because I know you're the kind of person that is going to just relish mentoring others and helping them, just as you helped the other client of mine in her job search before you and I even knew each other. Mm-hmm. And, I think that you're the kind of person that's going to have great leadership skills, and you're going to continue to rise to new heights. So congratulations to you, and thank you so much for placing your trust in me these last several months.
And I deeply want to say thank you to you. I mean, I am eternally grateful for your guidance and your accessibility and hopefully continued friendship.
Great. Thanks, Nan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.